Right, never done one of these before. Thought I would do my makeup on camera so you can see what I do. I've already cleansed my skin and moisturised it, and oh, I've just found something in the corner of my eye, like you always do, don't you? So what am I using just now? My cleanser I used was a L'Oreal one that I picked up in the supermarket. And the toner I am using is a Superdrug Naturally Active one that's got like 5% glycolic acid in it, so it's very, very lightly exfoliating. And then the moisturiser that I used today, and it's giving me a nice bit of a dewy glow, which I do love. It was a little tester pot of L'Occitane Immortelle, a little blue tub. It would be excruciatingly expensive, I would imagine, if I bought it as a standalone product, but it was part of the Marks and Spencer's beauty bag, so why not? Anyway, Nivea for the win. My dad did some internet shopping and ordered a tinted moisturiser for his face by mistake. So I was like, I'll have that. So yeah, Nivea, it smells like Nivea. I love it. Anything that feels like cream cheese on my skin for the win. And this is just a tinted moisturiser there. Day cream. It's probably in reverse because I'm using my phone. But it's the Tinted Day Cream 24-hour moisture, light skin tone. So when I'm working, I'm still wearing an F2 mask. So I don't tend to bother with any kind of tinted foundations or anything like that. I just put a bit of concealer under my eyes or wherever I feel I need it. Because what's the point in wearing a full face of makeup or, you know, tinted moisturiser when I've got an F2 mask on all day. So, day off today. Ding dong, what's not to like? I've got my close-up mirror here as well. If you don't have a close-up mirror, it's a good and a bad idea. It's a good idea because my eyesight's not, well, I mean, your eyesight changes. I need glasses for reading. But also it's really good for spotting chin hairs as well. Anyway, I just said that out loud. So, I've got all my stuff lying at the side here, which is why you see me looking over, sorry. I am going to use an angled brush, and I just bought this palette in Marks and Spencer's a wee while ago, and then a friend of mine, Sacha, showed me how to do my eyebrows just by using an angled brush and eyeshadow instead of always going to look for really expensive you know, eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, you know, eye products, you know, like, you know, I do have things like Boy Brow. I've used that before. That's very, very good. And it floofs them up. I would probably say Boy Brow is my favourite. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at my mirror. Oh God, there I am. Excuse me. Crikey, I didn't rub that in very well at all, did I? So I'm just going to brush my eyebrows up. Now, this just makes such a difference, I feel, putting my eyebrows on. For me, you can see grey. What really, really made a difference in how I was feeling about myself was going to get my eyebrows professionally tinted. So I do feel it. It just doesn't make me look so featureless. So so there we are. That, yeah, find somebody or get recommendations from girlfriends about who you would go to get your eyebrows tinted on if you're like me and you're going grey and everything else is going grey as well apart from the hairs coming out of your chin. Yes, I said that out loud. Anyway, here we go. So what I'm going to do is just like light kind of like upward strokes and then follow it round. And always start to the outside of your eyebrow and work in, because if you start on the inside, you'll more than likely have too much product on the brush and you'll end up with that clump right there. So I'm just dipping it into a brown, a light brown eyeshadow, and You can see what I'm doing, just light strokes and following the natural shape round. I do get my eyebrows waxed as well, although not in the last couple of months, because see what a difference, look at that. Good, isn't it? Because I've been using this eyelash serum, eyelash and eyebrow serum from The Ordinary. It's their new one that they brought out because, like many women in their 50s, my eyebrows are still recovering from the 90s when we overplucked. I blame Cindy Crawford. I should have been more Brooke Shields. I blame Cindy Crawford though. Everybody went for that pencil thin look, you know. I think she's even regretting it, to be honest. Anyway, let's do the other one. So again, I'm just starting to the outside of the eyebrow. And zhuzhing that up. So lots of menopause chat again this week, as in, like, you know, there's a new book a new book that I've ordered. I'm not sure if it's a new book out. A lady called Dr. Hazel Wallace, and it's a book called The Food Medic. And I started reading it last night. It's good. Because what she's done is she's gone into the whole trouble of explaining exactly what happens during every phase of a woman's life, when she has a period, when you hit menopause, and all the other effects that come up from it as well. And obviously she's done some very sensible food planning ideas in there as well, which for me is the number one place to start. Well, actually no, number two. The first one's stress. Anything you can do to reduce stress in your life, external stress causing internal stress, for the win. Anyway, I'll carry on. So I'll speak about her more in another video, but it's just nice to see that she's obviously, being a doctor, she's made that huge link about the food that you eat greatly impacting on how you feel about yourself, and how food and drink triggers can really make menopause symptoms a whole lot worse. That's something I've also got mapped out in my own book, plug. You can look me up on Amazon under my name, Elizabeth Bandine, and my book is called The Modern Menopauser. So I loved writing that book. I wrote it in lockdown. And it's not a big book. It's only 56 pages, and it's designed to just give you that information in a succinct and, you know, economy of words manner. Economy of words is not my thing, by the way. I've got a habit of leaving the longest voicemail messages ever. But yes, I loved writing that book because it was important to me to get the message out there, and also to reassure other women that it will get better, but it's a tough road, and there's no getting away from that. Anyway, that's the eyebrows done. I'm quite happy with that. So, oh, by the way, if you've never made an investment before, there's another company that I really like called Beauty Pie. And I've got loads of other brushes, but I bought a brush set. It made a difference actually having a proper brush set. This was Jamie Genevieve's fault. Kind of like a makeup artist and influencer, but she does the most amazing videos. Look her up as well. But it made me realise that if I've got the proper tools to look after my face and do my face and do my makeup, then it is going to help, you know. So anyway, what am I going to do now? I am going to get that brush there, and I'm going to go in with, am I in a pinky or a bronzy mood today? I think I'll go more of a beigey browny kind of thing. So I've just loaded up the brush, and all I'm going to do is pat that on. Now, once upon a time I used to go like that first of all, but now what I do is pat it on. Again, watching far too many Jamie Genevieve videos, and then do that whole back and forth thing. So Charlotte Tilbury says, go back and forth like a windscreen wiper. That's exactly what it is. She explains things so well. If you've ever watched any of her Charlotte Tilbury videos as well. Charlotte Tilbury, Jamie Genevieve, Sally Jane Hughes, those are my go-tos for learning how to apply your makeup, and it doesn't need to take long. I mean, obviously I am in and out, I mean, about 5 to 7 minutes it takes me to do this, but obviously it's a little bit longer because I'm being a bit yappy as well at the moment doing this. So how's that? It just gives it a bit of a lift, doesn't it? Now, what will I do now? I'm going to go in with an angled brush. And I'm going to go back to that same brown that I put on my eyebrows. And I'm just going to go pat, pat, pat along the eyelash line just to give a bit of definition there. So do the same on the other, pat it on. So if I did that, that, what would happen would be, well, this is just what happens to me, is that all the powder ends up on the outside of my eye. So that's why I've started doing the pat, pat, pat thing. And it does work a lot better. So once upon a time, this would have been a black eyeliner, but my skin tone has changed. And the makeup that I did in my 20s and my 30s definitely wasn't going to suit me in my 50s. See what I've done there? It just gives it a bit of something. And then go in on the other side too. So yeah, it's just getting clever with eyeshadows. I might put a little bit more on the top. Oh, that's good, yeah. Even if I say so myself. And this is me actually taking my time, because normally I would be like, out the door. How's that looking? It's okay, isn't it? There's nothing fancy pants. It's just, just a little bit of a zhuzh. So am I going to do anything else there? No, that'll do. I think that I'm quite happy with that. So it's just a little bit of a daytime easy kind of thing. So I've zhuzhed on the tinted moisturiser. I've coloured in my eyebrows. I've just put a wash of one colour on, and then I've gone pat, 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 pat along the lash line, and the same underneath as well. So it's not looking too harsh. And now I'm going to go in with, this is a present. It's a Burberry mascara. I got this from my friend Fiona for my birthday. It's brilliant. So look at that brush. Ding dong, love it. So again, close-up mirror for the win, and I'm going to put the mirror underneath. And I have noticed actually as well, since I started using that Ordinary Serum, that my eyelashes are not casting off as much as they used to. They're staying on, which is nice. That's all these serums do, by the way. They just stop you losing your eyelashes, so that if you stop losing the serum, guess what's going to happen? They'll just go back to casting off again. So you have to be rigorous with keeping these things up consistently, because as I say, if you stop using them, then you just revert back to type again. And that's pretty much the same with anything, really, isn't it? If you start healthy eating, you feel great. If you go back to 4 visits a week to Greg's, then you're going to go back to feeling not so good about yourself again. So let's do the other eye too. Have a play around with makeup. During lockdown especially, when I couldn't work during lockdown, I'm a sports massage therapist. If you don't know who I am, if you've never watched any of my videos before. So my business was shut for like about 9 months over the last 2 years. So I got really good at gardening, and I just went down a rabbit hole of watching home tidying programs, makeup videos, you name it, I was there. I did do some useful stuff, like I wrote my book. So, but yeah, to have a play around. Now, why am I saying this? I mean, makeup, yeah, it's frivolous to some people. It doesn't seem like the most important thing in the world, but you see, when you reach menopause, and I completely lost my confidence about how I looked, and I just felt so unfeminine. Didn't know how to do my makeup, didn't know how to dress, couldn't stop crying, things like that. It was my mental. Here's the thing about menopause as well, right? It's always the psychological factors that get spoken about first. You can tackle as many physical factors as you like, but the physical factors make the psychological factors the more prominent of the two. So because I had changed my hair color and I was feeling really unfeminine and I didn't know how to dress, didn't know how to do my makeup, didn't, I just kind of like lost a sense of identity, really. The only place I felt super duper confident was at work. In my therapy room, I was like on top of it. I was on top of everything. Outside of the therapy room, couldn't make a decision to save my life. Massive external check, from everything to, should I go on holiday, what toilet roll to buy, when to buy it, what shop to go to, everything. It just, anyway. But what made me feel better was realising that other women felt the same way that I did, and going and getting a makeup lesson at Charlotte Tilbury. That's what kicked it all off. And then I was like, okay, I can come out of this the other side. I can make myself feel a little bit better. And so the journey continues. So I was 48 when I hit menopause. I was 42 when I was perimenopausal, but I didn't have a clue what perimenopause was. Because I was still getting a cycle. Me, anywhere near menopause when you're having a cycle? Don't be ridiculous. I didn't have a clue. What woman does when you reach 42, 43 and things start going a little bit pear-shaped for you mentally and you can't stop crying and you lose your confidence? Well, what's your doctor going to do? They're going to put you on antidepressants. So that's what happened to me. Instead of getting HRT, because my doctor didn't know I was perimenopausal, because I didn't know I was perimenopausal, it just wasn't a factor. So anyway, right, let's just crack on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off and I'm going to go in with this amazing little pot of joy from Beauty Pie again. It's a Hannah Martin blusher. So I'm just going to go dab, dab, dab like that. The pigment is really, really high on this. So what you do is you pop it on and you look like a panto dame for a bit. And then you just stipple it on like that. And then do the other side too. Ding dong, I'm quite enjoying this dewy kind of finish that I've got. That's what I go for. Some people like a matte kind of a matte finish and they'll go like full coverage, but I found that my skin has got really, really dry and I crave anything that feels like Philadelphia cheese. So I don't go for that. I go for more of a dewy finish and go for light coverage as opposed to full makeup coverage. If I was ever going to go full coverage for an event, I would actually get a professional to apply it. I would actually book in and get a makeup artist to do to do it for me, because they know how to manipulate these products much better than I do. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is, it's another Beauty Pie product. This is like a Beauty Pie advert thing, isn't it? I know. You can see how well loved that is. It's just one of their palettes and it's got a bronzer, a blusher. I don't use the bronzer that much, you can see that, but I've used the blusher loads and I've used the highlighter loads. Oops. So anyway, there's a prep and set kind of lighter colour, and what I'm going to do, just because I feel like it's, pop that on the inside of my eye. Oh, that looks good. But with highlighter, what I'm going to do is I've got some on my finger like this and just pat it along my cheekbone like that, and then I'll do the other side too, and then I will go down my nose, which is another Jamie Genevieve move. How's that? Ta-da! And we're done. A little bit longer than I would normally take. And I'll take my Kirby grip out. Oh my goodness. I'm growing out a pixie cut. Whether it stays long is anybody's guess, but there we are anyway. Oh, and to finish off, this is another freebie. Well, not a freebie, sorry. It was in the Marks and Spencer's beauty bag at summertime. Now it's a really vibrant pink, and if you put it on like that, it's just too much of a pop for me. There's some coral pinks that just don't suit me one bit. So what I'm going to do is just pat it on like that. That'll do. Just a light kind of. Yep, and I've got to make those noises as well. Sorry. So there we are. That's me. Makeup for the day. Nothing too complicated, but it's just. I've maybe put too much highlight on my nose there. I look like a disco ball. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just picked me up. It's just lifted my face a bit. You know, I do love the mascara though, I must admit. That was a present from a good friend of mine, Fiona. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If there's any questions that you want to ask me, I have been rambling on a little bit and touched on a few other little things. But the important message to take is just feeling the best that you can about you and learning to adapt as you mature and grow older. And you know, there's always a lot to reflect on when you get to your 50s. It's fabulous. Hitting 50 for me was amazing. When I was 42, I lost so much confidence in myself when I hit perimenopause and didn't know what was happening to me. When I hit menopause when I was 48, it was like the end of the world. Seriously, felt like the end of the world. There is no easy answer for how to cope with menopause other than know what it is and do what you can to reduce stress in your life so that it doesn't make the symptoms so much worse that you feel like you're so up in your head the whole time. And that's what being up in your head feels like. You just literally have no idea what to do with yourself. And decision making is a problem. So that's the important bit, is just knowing how to adapt with these changes in life. I'm 53 now. I'm not on HRT. I've got through the last few years just by keeping an eye on my health and well-being and my diet, and I shouldn't use the word diet, how I fuel myself, what foods I eat to get the energy I need to get through the day and do all the other things I love, and stop beating myself up at HIIT classes and doing Pilates and bar. Ding dong, for the win. Anyway, I'll maybe make another video about the health and well-being, but I hope you enjoyed the makeup bit. I certainly did. And now I feel ready to go. So thanks for watching.